This video is meant to highlight the parts needed to upgrade front ground sweeps on any field truck. I'll show you the parts we used. This was our original field truck. It was a 1974 Dodge W400 Power Wagon. It was replaced by a 1999 Ford F350 you'll see in the video. These are the nozzles that we used under the front bumper to accommodate the actual spray patterns. One is located on the driver's side, one on the passenger side. You can pause anywhere here. Look at the website. Ours are 3/4 inch male pipe thread. These are the valves which are located under the floorboards on the driver's side. They're just 12-volt solenoid on and off valves. They have switches up in the cab. Next, you'll see our 1999 coming up. We can have a little bit of a discussion here on Field 83, which is a 1999, pretty much a first-gen Super Duty. It was a very early model year 99, which had the lighter duty front axle. Had a Dana 50 as opposed to a Dana 60 front axle. It also had the smaller turbo. This was literally early 99. They actually had a model year change mid-year 99. We had this truck ordered in 98. They obviously did not make a 1998 model year Ford for the crossover from the OBS to the Super Duty. Body line change, and we were lucky enough to get one of the first ones. This truck was purchased as a standard cab 8-foot bed pickup truck. It was all white in color. You can see the door jambs. The body match painting for the maroon color to match our other fleet was done at the actual body upfitter, which, believe it or not, there was a promotion going on at the Ford dealer at the time, which you traded in your Ford body and they would upgrade you to a free flatbed. Well, we know what we get when we say the words free. It was a Knapheide all steel with a 2x8 wooden pressure-treated deck, which did not hold up to the constant dampness and water. The rust and the board rot got to it. Plus, the subframe was so high that this body was 18 inches higher. And in this cab configuration, it was really overloaded with the 250 gallons of water on the back. It had a set of those bolt-on diamond plate boxes, and it was really put together on a budget. It did have this hail pump 18 horse slide-in unit installed on it. Had a small manifold here, which was all black iron. We have since converted that to stainless steel and brass. And they all had rotted out in the last 25 years. We upgraded the rear springs on it, upgraded the front springs on it, obviously put a little bit of a more aggressive tire on it. We took the factory bench seat out to accommodate the sirens and controls on the interior. And we had a console put in, and these are from a Paravan upfit company. Was able to actually upgrade the seats. The Ford would not sell us complete seats. You know, it was a liability issue, they said, so we had to buy aftermarket seats. So this truck here was replacing a 1974 Dodge Power Wagon 400 series, which was a mini pumper, but still a dedicated field truck. It had that big tuna basket on the front. I'll post some pictures. And it had a little jump line that the guys could stand. There was a railing on it. The guys could lean on the hood and then lean on that railing and then spray off the front. But it did have ground sweeps as well. And it was a pump and roll truck. About 9 years ago, we went up to EBY Bodies in Lancaster, PA, and we took the Knapheide body off, had EBY build us a new body, all aluminum. We lowered it right down on the frame as low as we could get it, had to make some custom toolboxes to accommodate all of the field fire tools. This little gas-powered, it's pretty much just a lawnmower engine, a regular 18 horsepower Vanguard lawnmower engine, powering a small hail pump. And this does have, obviously, pump and roll capabilities because it's not connected to the drivetrain in any way. We do have rear heavy power outputs back here. We can put a winch on the back. But that right now, the winch power is controlling a Hale regular vane style primer, so we can pull a prime out of a creek or a pool or wherever we need to get water from. The real interest here is on the front ground sweeps. How did we do that? Well, very simply, we came back here, we added one more nipple and an elbow. Actually, we added a T, a nipple and an elbow. Put another ball valve on, and then we just came off. This is that hydraulic hose, which is not rated for real high pressure. I think it's 600 psi, but itself, you can make it yourself. This coupling threads onto the hose, and the hose, there's a barb that sticks out, and then this actually screws up and over that barb, and it's like a self-making coupling. It just runs down through the floor. It runs up along the frame rails. And then underneath of the cab, right underneath of the driver's side cab, there are two magnetically actuated valves. Right here, we just made a real simple angular bracket to actually support the two valves. There they are there. They're just a magnetic head solenoid valve, open and closed. And then the two lines run right up, one along the frame, one across the cross member, right up to the front bumper, which houses the ground sweeps. And the ground sweeps are just a one-piece machined brass ground sweep. You can get them in 3/4 or 1 inch. And they just mount right under there, about 130 degree to 150 degree pattern. And we just have them adjusted so that we have very good overlap right here in the front. So as you come out, this one comes to about here, and then the passenger comes to about there. So we have good overlap on the front of the truck. And they're just mounted to some very, very basic brackets under the front bumper. There's that long. We run these right around 50 PSI. Anything over, we feel it just atomizes the water too fine. It doesn't really soak in. We do add a lot of dish soap to this truck just simply because we want that 250 gallons to go a little further, to soak in a little deeper, and to not have to saturate the ground. So we do use it as a surfactant. It's a little bit safer and easier than Class A foam or the F500, but you could use either or. So that's what we choose to do. This truck is really not used for brush fires in the woods. It's, again, a field unit. And we have a lot of agriculture around here, crop farming, so real low-level brush fires, hay fields that are catch off in the summer, or just wide open, dry kind of grass fires. This is ideal for because you don't need much manpower. Some people will say take a nozzle, run it up the side, stick it in the window and drive. It's kind of unsafe. If the hose gets stuck on something, it rips out of the cab or the driver gets hurt. This is totally automated. It's actuated by two just toggle switches, which are on the console right here. That's the left ground sweep, and that is the right ground sweep. Doesn't get any simpler than that. You can pump and roll. The drivers here, our protocol is start the pump before you leave the firehouse. Open your tank to pump, which we always keep open on this particular unit. Crack your bypass just to give the water somewhere to go. It's not to build too much heat. Open your ground sweep completely. We let it run on idle, 50 to 60 PSI. Get in the cab of the truck, go to the fire. The rest, as they say, is history. Toggle your switches, make sure your hubs are locked, you're in four-wheel drive, and it's off to the races. The truck comes back to the hard pack where our tanker would fill it up. It could nurse it right from there. This is a 2,000 gallon KME Predator tanker. And we can get a lot of work done with this truck and that little tiny Field F350. It works very well. We've always had a field truck here since 1974. I'll put some pictures in there of the old one. But that's been our protocol, and it does work well for a very low price. We have no intentions of replacing this truck. It's only got 13,000 miles. And that's what we've done. I'll even post some pictures of the valves and the model numbers. But again, this is just a 1 inch or a 3/4 inch brass sprayer head that you'd see on any water truck or that, wets down quarries or whatever. So kind of easily sourced parts. So here are the sprayer heads again. Like I said, you can get them at pretty much any construction or even an ag store. They use these, I think, on some tractors or boom sprayers to actually apply fertilizer. So depending on the GPM that you want, you just have to pick out the size and the orifice size that you need. Here's a valve I looked up real quickly online. It's the ASCO 8210G004, and that's the two we've used. They still make them, 12 volts, readily available. Valves and Instruments is the website, and this is the 74 that I told you about. If you look really close or zoom in, the sprayers under that bumper are like shower heads. They used to clog with rust all the time. That's why we went to the one-piece brass, and that tuna basket is where you'd stand to spray. Thanks again for watching. There you go.